How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Juicy, juicy, juicy. Oh, I'm talking about juicy, my royal family. But before I get into the juicy parts, the sweet juicy parts of my royal family, I want to thank each and every one that that joined my Patreon. I greatly appreciate it. I had 11 early this morning, and now I have 19. My goal is to possibly get to 50 to 100, but y'all know that is not going to stop the quality of these videos. Now y'all see that this is a long video, and I told y'all that I'm covering this, when the shit first popped off. But boy, the first day, and I seen y'all over there. We was all over on what was that? I think it's WWAF something YouTube channel. I seen a lot of my subs over there. We was mixing it up. I gotta throw in some of that too. I banter back and forth and stuff. So, Amber Guyger, your dirty laundry, your ass been exposed. Look at her mug. Face looking different every day. That stress is catching up with that bitch. They didn't put on a dress, did her hair, tried to give her some type of makeup. Evil always win. Evil always bleed through. Showing the true core of Amber Guyger. So my royal family, I got an article to read and a few videos. Give me just a second so I can close the door. All right, my royal family, get your popcorn, bust out that good weed. So we gonna get into this. Oh, so juicy. So I'm gonna read all of this article because it's, got some juicy parts in it. Prosecutor argued Amber Guyger's sexting messages contradicts claims she was tired when she shot Botham Jean. The opening arguments reveal a bombshell for the prosecution. The off-duty police officer who shot and killed an unarmed black man in his own home last year in Dallas had been exchanging racy messages with her boyfriend in the minutes before the shooting took place. Prosecutors said in opening arguments of the mistrial, they argued in part that those facts contradict Amber Guyger's claim that she was exhausted when she entered Botham Jean's home and shot him to death because she said she thought he was a burglar. Prosecutor Jason Hermas questioned how Guyger could be tired since he said the text messages suggest she was ready to meet her boyfriend for sex. After Guyger finished her 13-and-a-half-hour shift, Hermas said the contents of the text message show she did not have plans to go home and rest. She wanted to get her back blown the fuck out. Which is what someone who was supposed to be exhausted would likely do after a long day work. The text message shows she had plans, Hermas said while reading from a transcript of the messages. So here we go. When can I come over? Martin Rivera, identified as the person Guyger was texting with, asked in his message. You can come over after this. Guyger responded in an apparent allusion to finish up at work. She then texts Rivera, super horny today, too, to which Rivera responded, me too. That prompted Guyger to ask him in his next text, do you want to touch? That exchange showed Hermes argued that Guyger had planned to have sex with Rivera. It also belied logic, Hermes said, since Guyger was supposed to be exhausted, the reason she blamed on entering Jean's apartment, which was located exactly beneath hers. The revelation was the first hint of what could have possibly been on Guyger's mind when she did the unimaginable and shot Jean without any provocation. Still, Hermes said he understood how someone could be so tired they may miss clues that should have shown they were in the wrong place, including Jean's bright red floor mat. Guyger did not have one in front of her own apartment, and the smell of marijuana in his apartment, which Hermes did not understand, he said, was how Guyger departed in her police training and did not follow protocol for such a situation. Hermes cited her 911 call, which he said showed she was more concerned with her career than the life of a dying man. And after the shooting, Hermes told jurors how Guyger found the time to text Rivera once again instead of giving 100% of her attention to Jean, who could be heard gasping in agony during the 911 call. Guyger texts Rivera, I fucked up, showed Amber Guyger's thinking about herself, Hermes said. She left the poor man alone in his apartment in his final moments, Hermes said, before saying that the rest of Guyger's text messages were deleted off her phone. The state of Texas is entitled to a guilty verdict. So there were some people that didn't get a chance to watch it. And so before I get into the videos, and you're going to see all the players involved, okay, straight up, we grown. You know I ain't going to miss my fucking words. This who she was fucking, all right, straight up. And he a lying motherfucking too. They trying to imply that they ain't screwed since 2017. They work side by side. All right? And so they basically was saying they were just bantering back and forth on the text messages, and it didn't really mean anything. They didn't have no more sexual relationships. We grown up in here, my royal family. They was both blowing each other's back out. I've been living 50 plus years. We didn't all had our moments of booty calls and all of that. All right, we gonna keep it real core up in here. All right, we didn't had our fair share of it. Maybe some people ain't had none of those. But you know, I stay in reality. And you know, this is the first time we heard about homeboy. I mean, wow. Amber Guyger's face ain't looking too good. Boy, she don't got no sex appeal. So, I ain't asking for no apology, Amber, but I wouldn't thought nobody was checking for your ass. Because I said that. I had that wrong. Somebody was blowing your back out. But, you know, some, not all. Don't take offense, my kings. Some men, they attitude, it got a hole. You know, she was making it available. It didn't cost him anything. You know, he can get off on her, keep it moving. That's basically what that was. I don't get the impression that they went on dates or nothing. Just fuck buddies. Straight up. All right? And another thing, it was really deep on that part where they were talking about how they were sending pictures back and forth. They was doing their little sex and texting thing. However you do that shit. I ain't never did nothing like that. But But she confided in him a lot. So you're so tired, but you got time to do all of that. Then on top of that, okay, she killed Botham. Okay. And they're looking at the time he was killed, the time the 911 call is made, and she's talking to the 911 operator, and the bitch is texting homeboy, I'm fucked. So while she's putting on that Academy Award performance, she's doing dual shit. You know what I'm saying? I can picture her probably just sitting there, making all them old sounds and however she sound and stuff like that. So that gives us, the royal family, a deeper insight on how greasy and grimy this ex-pig get down. All right? She was horny, They were supposed to hook up. I guess oh man, y'all know I can go there. I know some of y'all say, ooh, True Royal, you be speaking strong. Mince your words. Can't do it. I gotta stay real. I gotta keep it authentic and core. So, got a few little videos over here for the royal family. So, prosecutor Amber Guyger was distracted by Dallas police colleagues. She was sexing the night of the deadly shooting. Not a good look. So we'll play this first video of my royal family.
The murder trial of fired Dallas police officer Amber Guyger is now moving quickly into testimony about the hours and minutes leading up to the shooting death of Botham Jean. Guyger's former DPD partner, Martin Rivera, testifying about a previous sexual relationship he had with Guyger and sexually explicit text messages the two exchanged the day of the shooting.
The state is arguing that Guyger was distracted but not fatigued to the point of exhaustion when she entered Botham Jean's apartment by mistake and killed him, thinking he was an intruder in her apartment. The murder trial started with a hearing about those text messages and opening statements from both sides. Prosecutors trying to prove Guyger ignored obvious warning signs. The defense describing Jean's death as a series of tragic mistakes. Fox 4 Sean Rabb was in the courtroom for today's opening statements and more. Sean.
And Steve, let me tell you, there were hundreds of people in the hallway outside the courtroom hoping for one of 49 seats. People waited for a couple of hours hoping to get in today. Inside the courtroom, in opening statements, we pretty much received today a roadmap of how both sides plan to proceed. Very different opinions, different views of the same set of facts. Showing jurors a picture of Botham Jean, prosecutor Jason Hermes told jurors Jean, in the sanctuary of his own apartment, died because of Amber Guyger's poor actions and decisions, and that she did not follow department training and regulations.
In the last 10 minutes of Bo's life, Amber Guyger made a series of unreasonable errors and unreasonable decisions and unreasonable choices. The kind of choices and decisions that only she could have stopped the errors from happening again and again and again, and she did it.
At a hearing before opening statements, attorneys argued over text messages and phone conversations Guyger had with her partner, Martin Rivera, in the hours and minutes prior to the confrontation. Judge Tammy Kemp allowed them, including sexually descriptive texts between Guyger and Rivera.
Super horny today, too. He replies, me too.
A 16-minute phone conversation they had, Hermes told jurors, somehow changed Guyger, saying Guyger walked past 16 apartments, never realizing she was on the 4th floor, 1 floor above her apartment landing. Defense attorney Robert Rogers told jurors more than 90 residents had done the same thing on the 3rd and 4th floors. John's door was not locked or completely closed. Some units at times would not shut based on temperature and humidity and how locks were structured. Rogers said Guyger and her partner had a previous sexual relationship, but no more, and that they flirted with each other only. He told the jury what happened that night was just an unfortunate set of circumstances.
And she's trying to process this as she's stepping into her apartment. And at the same time, I'm sure Mr. Jean is thinking, what is this person doing? who is coming to my apartment? So he's confused. He's wondering what's going on. She's thinking, what is going on? Why is this man in my apartment? And she looks up, and he's standing up. He's about 30 feet away from her. And I'm sure he's alarmed. But she's thinking, oh my God, there's an intruder in my apartment. And she's face to face with him. She's within 10 yards of him. And he starts approaching her. And she reacts like any police officer would who has a gun with confronting a burglary suspect.
And Steve, today also there were questions about Botham Jean's smoking marijuana. You'll recall, Steve, on the day of his funeral, information leaked out that there was marijuana in his system. His sister, Elisa Finley, took the witness stand today to talk about who he was to the family and his dreams, and was asked by Jason Hermes about his marijuana use. She says it goes back to a health diagnosis he had while he was in college at Harding College. Take a listen.
He was diagnosed with ADHD, and he was prescribed Adderall. And he started taking the Adderall, but he always complained he didn't like how it made him feel. Like, one, he couldn't sleep while he was on Adderall. And then for him to sleep, he would have to stop taking it completely. And then he described it as crashing when he stopped taking it. So it was always back and forth with it. So he stopped taking it completely. And that's when he started smoking.
And Martin Rivera, the former partner of Amber Guyger's, he was on the witness stand late today being asked about the sexting or those text messages and phone calls between them. Said there was nothing between them, said she meant nothing to him, basically said he talked to her to and from the gym to pass time, and that the most time he ever spent in a phone conversation with her was that 16-minute phone call. Steve?
Okay, Sean, I want to take you back a little bit. It's for, I guess, an explainer, help our viewers. Not unusual that defense attorneys ask to have a case dismissed on the opening morning. We see that happening all the time. But one of the reasons today that they asked was they said Dallas County DA John Creuzot went on Fox 4 over the weekend and violated a gag order. Tell us more about that.
And Judge Tammy Kemp had no idea, and she was dumbfounded. The look on her face indicated she was dumbfounded, and she said, "Are you telling me the elected district attorney sat down and did an interview?" And the defense attorneys, Mike Mola, said, "Yes, ma'am. In fact, here's the video, here's the transcript. It's on the website at Fox 4. What the judge did was take a recess, looked at the video, then she called in the jurors, all 16 jurors, and by the way, the 12 significant jurors in the jury box, 8 women, 4 men, and she queried them one by one on whether they had seen the interview, whether they had watched Fox 4, looked at the website, knew anything about the DA having this interview with Allison Harris and his feelings about the trial. None of the jurors had seen it. They told us in open court under oath, and so the judge dismissed or rejected the motion for dismissal, finally seated the jury, and moved ahead early afternoon with opening statements. But that was the morning, more than 2 hours of motions outside the presence of the jury, even before they were brought into the court.
Okay, and we're thinking a week to 2 weeks on this. We're just getting started, correct?
Yes, absolutely. There is a long list of expert witnesses. There's going to be a lot of expert witness testimony in the days ahead. We've seen the sister today talking about the family. We've had these text messages come out that in many ways salacious between Amber Guyger and Martin Rivera, her partner in the CRT. But over the course of this time, we're going to have a lot of expert witnesses talking about trajectory of bullets and that type of stuff.
All right, my royal family. So before I get into the next video, we'll go back over here. What did I want to point out? What I wanted to point out is we've been hearing about this weed stuff, and I imagine that the defense going to try to harp on that. Weak defense, very weak defense, and they have already asked the judge to declare it a mistrial based on the interview that you just heard when they were saying that, because he's the DA now, that the DA was talking about the case, and she checked it, and it wasn't no big deal, but it could have been a big deal. And one thing that I can truly say about Judge Tammy Kemp, she's controlling that courtroom. She not fucking playing. And any nuance, she's examining it. And I appreciate that. She's commanding respect. But I'm going to say it again and again, that it is something in this case that's bothering the defense, because they've been hooping and hollering about having a change of venue and all of that type of stuff, and it did not work in their favor. And let me see if it's on here. Let me see if it's down here, because I'm gonna leave these things for here for y'all to read. Let me see if it's on this one. Might be on the next article that I was reading. Yes, it is. So that cleared up some things. There's some other videos that y'all may watch. And let's go over here as we continue on. And I have some things to interject. Also, I'm going to be talking a little bit deeper. Well, I'll say it now. The prosecution came out powerful. He seemed very well organized. He kept everything focused. And he really brought it. And there was a lot of us over there. And the ones that are over there, they'll let y'all know, my royal family, the people that didn't get opportunity to watch it in real time. When the defense came down, and that dude with that double ass neck, the energy totally changed. And, the enemy was over there, fucking with us like they always do. And they had to start admitting the defense came out weak. The energy was different. I mean, this dude was just blah, 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 babbling. And it was like, it wasn't an opening argument. He didn't come out strong like that. And you didn't have, when I was talking to Lisa, she said they had all this time to prepare. And they came out weak like that. I kid you not. You would have to watch the case in real time, because you're picking up energy. And dude, energy was weak. I'm gonna keep it core. If he would have came out strong, I would have said it, because you know what side I'm on and all of that. But it was the energy shifted. It was like, wow, y'all not so powerful. It was quite disappointing how they came out. And your own said it. So let's get into this video. You see this 8-minute video. Let me refresh. We're gonna get into it.
She left that poor man alone in his apartment in his final moments.
She's not hiding behind anything. She's the one that's calling the troops to come to get her.
The Amber Guyger trial officially starts, but not without a potential roadblock. Thanks for joining us at 4 o'clock, everyone. I'm Ken Molestina.
And I'm Brooke Katzen for Gilma Avalos. Amber Guyger on trial for killing 26-year-old Botham Jean the night of September 6th of last year. The former Dallas police officer shot and killed John after she thought she was entering her own apartment and thought John was a burglar. Her apartment 1 floor down. The jury must now decide if she committed murder, a lesser crime, or no crime at all. We do have live team coverage. Kim Molestina has the drama that unfolded in the court before opening statements. JD Miles in the court for opening statements, and Steve Pickett taking a closer look at the trial's international draw. Let's begin, though, with CBS 11's JD Miles, who has been in that courtroom all day. JD, what's the latest?
Well, today we learned that Botham Jean's apartment door was unlocked on the night Amber Guyger walked in. We also learned that she had been on the phone with her patrol partner up until only 3 minutes before the shooting. Prosecutors revealed today that she had had an intimate relationship with that patrol partner, and they had been exchanging text messages and phone calls throughout the evening. The defense says that's all irrelevant, but prosecutors say it suggests she was not exhausted, as she claims, from a long day of work. Amber Guyger arrived for the first day of her murder trial, which could end with the former Dallas police officer sentenced to prison for life. Prosecutors described the last moments of Botham Jean inside his apartment on the night Guyger walked through his unlocked door.
He was doing no harm to anybody, which was his wife. But he was sitting in his living room in shorts and a t-shirt, watching TV, eating a bowl of vanilla ice cream.
Guyger claims she mistakenly walked into the wrong apartment one floor above her own after finishing a long patrol shift and thought Jean was an intruder. But prosecutors told the jury she should have noticed his red doormat outside and that her claim of self-defense doesn't hold up.
She doesn't one time say he had a weapon. She doesn't one time say he was scaring me. He made me fear for my life. None of that.
Defense attorneys told the jury Guyger will testify during the trial and that an innocent mistake doesn't qualify as an evil act.
Amber Guyger firmly and reasonably believed that she was in her own apartment. Amber Guyger firmly and reasonably believed that she had confronted an intruder in her apartment. Amber Guyger firmly and reasonably believed that she had no choice, that she had no options but to use her gun.
Botham Jean's sister was the first prosecution witness who started the trial talking about her family's emotional loss they still can't accept.
I miss him every single day. Being in Dallas is hard, that he's not here.
Defense attorneys say Guyger was basically on mental autopilot that night and not paying attention to the floor she was on. They attribute what happened to an unfortunate set of circumstances that they say doesn't add up to a crime. Today we learned the makeup of the jury finally. It's 8 women, 4 men. The racial makeup of the jury is 5 blacks, 4 Hispanics, 2 whites, and 1 Asian. We'll have much more on testimony, which is continuing behind me. For now, live at the Dallas County Courthouse, J.D. Miles, CBS 11 News.
All right, J.D., thank you very much. You know, it is worth noting that day 1 of the trial, it didn't get underway smoothly. There were some issues that Judge Tammy Kemp needed to take care of, which she was clearly not happy about. Before the jury was even sworn in, and as attorneys filed their last motions, Judge Kemp discovered someone inside her courtroom had brought a laptop with them.
Why do you have a laptop in here?
Despite her strict guidelines that all electronic devices be banned from anyone who isn't a lawyer.
Just please bring it to me.
Then perhaps the biggest hiccup this morning was Judge Kemp finding out that Dallas County District Attorney John Crusoe violated a gag order by recently speaking to a local news station about the case.
On last night, the evening prior to the start of this trial, I let the DA did an interview about this trial.
The defense provided her a copy of the interview and asked for a mistrial, which was eventually denied. And after interviewing each juror about their exposure to the interview, the judge decided to proceed.
I wish Judge Crusoe hadn't done it. He is the elected DA.
Dallas attorney Pete Schulte says a gag order violation of that degree interferes with the integrity of the trial, and it gives the defense plenty of reason to appeal should the case not turn out in their favor.
Was this the right county to begin with? And after that, with what happened with Judge Crusoe, does that cause a wrinkle? And they may, if there's a conviction, they may reverse and remand back for a new trial.
All possibilities that clearly have Judge Kemp seeming frustrated.
She wants a clean trial, and she's expressing that through her orders and through her facial expressions, and I think they're appropriate.
Well, the jury was finally sworn in today just before 12:45, and they moved to opening remarks. It was all supposed to begin sharply at 9 a.m.
And the trial has gained international attention, generated street demonstrations, and an overflow of interest from citizens trying to get into the courtroom. Our Steve Pickett joining us live now from the Crowley Courthouse. Steve, what have you seen out there?
It has been, it would be an understatement, Brooke, to say that standing room only was par for the course here. We saw, for example, more than 100 people wait for the chance to just find one seat inside this courtroom to hear, as you heard, those opening statements from both sides in this case today. Security here as well on the 7th floor where this is being held very, very tight. Metal detectors now being used at the entrance of that courtroom. The story of a police officer mistakenly entering a neighbor's apartment that she believes is hers, then shoots and kills that neighbor. It continues to be the backdrop for protests and demonstrations. This morning, for example, we saw 2 such events on the steps of the courthouse here this morning, one led by a coalition of Dallas clergy, a prayer vigil from them, then a list of speakers demanding a conviction in this case, a case seen by many with racial overtones, a white police officer who shoots an African-American man.
We're standing with the family, we're calling for justice, and we're prepared to protest in a peaceful way until there is justice for all.
And so indeed, over these next several days, policing in America and its impact upon black lives will be on trial.
What we did not see today was any sort of public demonstration in support of that former officer, Amber Guyger. No backing the blue activity here for this particular trial so far. What we did see in this courthouse today, however, for the first time, relatives, family members of Amber Guyger, they are in that courtroom supporting her. Reporting live, Steve Pickett, CBS 11 News.
Steve, thank you so much. So who was Botham Jean? The 26-year-old grew up in St. Lucia. He graduated from Harding University in Arkansas in 2016, where he was a member of the Good News Singers, a spiritual a cappella group. Shortly after graduation, Jean began working as an accountant at PricewaterhouseCoopers. And how about the defendant, Amber Guyger? She is a 2008 graduate of Arlington Sam Houston High School. Dallas police hired Guyger in 2013, and she'd been with the force for more than 4 years when that shooting happened. She was also involved in another shooting in May of 2017. Officers in a struggle with a man, he was able to get one of the officers' taser. Guyger shot him.
All right, my royal family. So far, and I know they're going to get deeper into it, they said that Botham Jean's apartment door was unlocked. Okay, that could be a possibility. But she stated that the door was ajarred, which is a very heavy door. They're fire retardant doors, so they're very, very heavy. So they will get deeper into that. Now, to my amazement, they said she is going to get on the witness stand. Now, that is going to be tentative as this trial go along, because she could change her mind. She has those options. So don't hold on to every word. And Tammy Kemp is watching close, because she know what the enemy is trying to do, my royal family. We know what time it is. We know how the enemy and the enemy supporters get down. So there's something in this case. And I think it's going to be some multiple bombshells, because this is the first time I heard about this dude, and stuff. And basically, it just shows what her concerns was, and all that hyperventilating about how tired her ass was and all of that was some straight ass BS. That's how I looked at that and stuff. And so we're gonna see how far the defense go with the marijuana stuff, because they don't have nothing. I mean, it ain't a good look already, so we shall see how it goes. And no need to worry, my royal family. I'm gonna bring it to the royal family. Let's not forget Friday, and I haven't decided a time. I know it'll be, what I probably will do, because it's gonna be on a Friday. Once the trial is over with on a Friday, I'll probably wait like 2 hours, give people time to mingle, relax with their family, eat and stuff, and then we're gonna have like a little bit of a late night hangout and stuff. And what I did on this one, I I've been writing notes. I've been putting key words because I'm looking at every detail of this. So it's going to be a lot coming out and stuff, and it is what it is. And the first part of it, I would say, with the prosecution coming out and all that stuff coming out, powerful. But I have to admit, when the defense came out, I got sleepy. That dude is lame. And you got 3 attorneys on it, and he's a 6-figure. You know, homeboy's lazy too, because when he was questioning her lover, he was just sitting on his ass. You know, the energy was already a defeatist type of energy. But I'm not going to be overzealous. I have made some predictions, and we'll see how it go. We're going to take it day by day. So, again, my royal family, the ones that support the channel and gave money today, I appreciate it. And also, the ones that are not able to financially support the channel, but come here and watch the channel and keep me uplifted and send articles and all of that, I appreciate all of it. All of it. All of it, my royal family. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm just appreciating people that financially support this channel. This is the first time I ever gave like a more concerted effort on that part, but I appreciate my royal family. Like I said, it don't matter if I get a penny. I am that passionate about the injustice that we have to deal with in America, and it hurts me to the core, and I have to use my voice. My voice is part of my gift, and y'all keep me going. Keep them scriptures in there, my royal family. I ain't been seeing too many scriptures since we done switched over to my backup channel. I want scriptures. I want to know where we're at on this, because I'm not totally well versed in the word. Even though I quote it often, y'all have to point it out. I need you. We need each other in this. I immensely appreciate the royal family, whatever you can contribute in your part. So don't ever think when it's on this channel that it's about some coins, because there has been things that y'all have pointed out to me that I have researched, and it has enlightened me, and I have even learned. See, because of the royal family, I am learning more and more about, I always knew that we was chosen, but how much more deep and powerful we truly is. So there will be more, my royal family. So my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.